Happy Tuesday, motherfuckers. It's Chuck Reeves. Tonight on the show, do we really need guns? The Beard, in all my experience, discusses. We remember the Station nightclub fire 15 years ago tonight, and how one incident affected nightlife around the world. And Haunted Highons Series 2 announced for like next year or something. But we're going to talk about what this possibly means long term. You know what the fuck it is, and you know what the fuck it's about to do. It's the Beard, and it speaks now.
Oh, come on, he's a miserable cocksucker fucking asshole. You hate him, admit it.
What up, heads? You know what to do. It's 11:30 p.m. right here on the East Coast of the United States of America. My name is Chuck Reeves. I have a red beard and a bad attitude. And you're tuned in to that YouTube experiment that I continue to call The Beard Speaks. Welcome and flame emojis to all you motherfuckers out there holding it down in the chat. I see we already have a good number of viewers. It's continuing to rise. Make sure, please, share this motherfucker. Especially if you're new to the broadcast, make sure you're subscribing right here to the Replicon YouTube channel to continue to catch my show and other fine programming. And then slide your ass on over to my primary YouTube. Make sure you're subbed there. Make sure you're dropping this video a like. And tell your friends, man. Tell people at work, like if you work the counter somewhere, just tell random custies. Be like, yo, check out the Beard Speaks. It's the way it goes down. We in this motherfucker. Gotta make my video age inappropriate immediately. We in this motherfucker. We got a couple of things to talk about. Some serious, some good, some a little sad, but it's the way it goes down. The show's not always going to be a motherfucking laugh riot. I appreciate everybody who was on board and checked out last night's broadcast. Somebody said it was an award-winning episode, that it had a little bit of everything, and I have to agree. The show was pretty good last night. Let's see if we can do one better. Shouts to everybody in the chat. Salute. I see Cheesehouse and this motherfucker holding it down. I see Marvin. South Warren 313. Fucking Dana. Oh, let's get that out the way. Since Dana's in the chat, I want to give a huge shout out to Dana and her husband. On top of being huge supporters of not only me and the Beard Speaks, but also of the Replicon Radio brand, she has developed and just added things to both of our situations that I don't know if we could ever duplicate anywhere else. And one of those things just got here in the mail today. While I was at Astronomicon, I was pleased and blessed enough to be bestowed the giant flame emoji. It says hater on it. It's serious biz. It won't even fit in the frame. Look, I gotta move myself out of the frame and turn it to the side. That's how large the giant hater flame emoji is. Alright, I'm trying to find a way to mount it on the wall behind me in some form or fashion while being able to take it down, because it's got to come to shows with me. This, as well as the sign, both are going to be in my merch booth at my live appearances from here on out. Drop all the flame emojis. This, I'm not coming back into frame until that chat box is nothing but flame emojis in celebration of the king flame emoji right motherfucking here. It says hater. It keeps me warm at night. It's fucking awesome. And I cannot thank Dana enough. The other side doesn't even have anything on it. Like, this is the dopest shit. Like, I might just do the show like this. Just as a flame emoji. You feel me? Like, so dope. So dope. And then who knows? Depending on where the show goes and Chuck goes, even though I love it. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap my arms around it. Alright? Maybe someday it'll be in some sort of an auction at some sort of a thing as a piece of memorabilia. Or maybe it'll pop up in a pop-up shop. Doubtful. Doubtful. For the time being, and for the foreseeable future, I have myself a new favorite thing. and it is this flame emoji. Anybody who saw me with it at Astronomicon knows I was cheesing like a fiend walking around with this. Look, you turn it upside down. Oh shit, it's like nothing changed. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You get it? You get it, monkey? It's the same thing. So fire. This is the definition of lit for real, fam. Like, I cannot stress enough how dope it was that her and her husband would take the time to not only craft this fine object, but to also deliver it to me not once, but twice. Once in person, and then once again via UPS. So, fucking shouts. All the flame emojis in existence for that one. I'm glad you popped up in the chat so I can get that out of the way, because that's going to sit here. And I'm souped. Like, I got mad shows coming up couple weeks. There's like 3 or 4 like bang right in a row, and that's coming with me, and so's the hater sign. So my merch booth, the merch might be shitty, but the fucking decorations are going to be dope as fuck. The merch isn't shitty. Let me clarify, my merch isn't shitty, but the decorations are dope as fuck. Let's see. On the merch tip, as usual, you know how it goes down. I got prints available. Get them. $10 a piece. $25 for all 3. I'll sign them if you want. Pins. $20 shipped. The color ones, copper ones are in circulation. They do not exist anymore. Shouts to Mixed Era Media. Hater shirts available, all sizes. Get out of player. And then, of course, all merch orders go into paypal.me/beasthostbeard and mybeardlove.com/beasthost. Don't forget, if you want a beard like mine, you can achieve this. Okay? 2 things. 2 things you got to do. 1, you got to stop shaving. Now, I know it sounds easy, but when I look around and I see nothing but baby faces, I have to think maybe it's a little harder than it was for me. So I say to people, I say, man, why do you shave? Well, I don't want to look sloppy, and I don't want my face to be itchy. And I say my face isn't sloppy. My beard does not look sloppy. And my face does not itch. So am I a mutant? So am I some sort of special case? Did God reach his hand out, touch my chin, and say, beard? Nah, fam. That's not what happened. I became a customer of mybeardlove.com, and you can fucking too. Eliminate looking like a trash can hobo. Eliminate your face itching like racquetball balls. All right? mybeardlove.com/beasthost. You can even be a cheapskate like me and get 10% off all your purchases. Washes. Keep that shit not looking like a trash fire. All right? Oils. Keep that shit smooth, silky, shiny, manageable, and most importantly, condition that skins underneath the hairs so you ain't got like itch face. All right? I get it. You don't want to be itchy face dandruff man. I feel you. I don't want to be that dude either. So I'm not. mybeardlove.com/beasthost. 10% off. Go cop that shit. That Joe, that new shit smells like coffee. All right? We got cologne compatible oils. So if you're one of these dudes who doesn't necessarily shower correctly, so you douse yourself in cologne, we got something for you too, dog. We got something for you too, you smelly motherfucker. mybeardlove.com. It's the hot Nixon. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. Straight up, let me get some flame emojis in the chat if you're a fucking Beard Love customer. Of the 45 of you, there's got to be at least a couple. I heard there was a international order placed recently that unfortunately, due to shipping restrictions and tariff controls, between America and the far side of the world, the shipping was cost prohibitive. So allow me to say, I appreciate anybody who's ordering from mybeardlove.com. But until certain shipping things get settled and situated, they are unable to fulfill certain international orders. So if you are international, feel free to inquire. And I'm sure that Jake and Stephanie over there will put in the legwork. They'll check on the shipping for you. And if it is something that they can ship you that's not going to cost you $60 fucking dollars, you know what I mean? Or you want to order enough to make that shipping worth you paying it, they'll be more than happy to hook you up. But I know for a fact, like, shipping one bottle of oil to that country was like $40 or something. So I know Australian airmail is a pain in the ass. And I also know that shit probably won't get to you for like a month, which I don't understand. It's 2018, fam. We have planes and shit. Like, we have planes. Why does it take 7 weeks for a fucking poster? Talking about he can't afford a high-class beard. Are you playing? What did I just talk about? mybeardlove.com/beasthost. I'm already saving you money. So it's not about not being able to afford a high-class beard. It's about being willing to put aside that 10 extra bones, like maybe a month, that you're going to end up dropping on some proper beard care conditioning chemicals that have no chemicals. Let's see. Yeah, we got boats and shit. She's a house knows. We have other transportation and shit. Like, and I don't know. Like, I get that I can't fax you something that's legitimate, but it shouldn't take no 7 weeks for shit to get to Australia. I mean, that should fucking settle the flat earth thing fucking immediately, is that it takes 7 weeks for my mail to get to Australia. There's got to be like a handoff. They got to meet at some sort of a fucking designated point and be like, you got American mail? Yeah. You got Australian mail? Yeah. Same time. Same time. Same time. I don't know you. Same time. And then they do the handoff of the bags of mail. That's what fucking takes so long. America don't trust nobody. America don't trust nobody. Obviously. Damn, something. Oh, I know it's screwy. The camera's over the camera, so of course you're not going to be able to see anything. I discussed it last night, March 11th. If you in the Northeast, you can come out and catch me live. Beast from the East show, Grind Mode Cypher, presents Ren Thomas, Lingo, and other Grind Mode affiliates. Beast host presiding. Make sure you come check it out doors, probably 9 o'clock. It's a Sunday night. We at Alchemy, downtown Providence, or as they say in Providence, Down City. Only place I've ever been that calls the downtown area Down City. Are you from a retarded place too? Let me know in the comments. Do you have something in your town that has a regular fucking name everywhere else, but wherever the fuck you're from, they call it some retarded ass shit? Contact me at beasthostbeard@gmail.com. Maybe I'll have you on the show. Because calling downtown Providence Down City is about the most hipster, goddamn artsy-fartsy, leftist fucking communist BS I ever heard in my life. Fuck out of here. We downtown Providence. In Alchemy. Upstairs from the gay bar. Unrelated. Beast from the East show. Ren Thomas. Grind Mode Cypher. Lingo. Beast host presiding. Brawlers Inc. pop-up shop. As always will be in effect. Beast host pop-up shop. Full effect. In full effect. Come through. I'm going to have all sorts of crazy merch and shit for sale. Mad shit. Come through. Maybe buy a beard hair or two. That's what we're going to do. And then, of course, check me out with Cess and Gmoski. What fucking day is that? Fucking, I'm terrible. Hold on. And I don't have it written down there. The 16th of March in Worcester, Massachusetts. Cess Crew Gmoski, Outland Camp, the homie Problematic and his new project, Fourth Quarter, are going to be in the motherfucking house. And you know what happens when they let the beast host loose. at the Worcester Palladium. What was the last thing I hosted at the Worcester Palladium? I remember it was the fucking one of the 3 continuous evolutions release parties that went down. And if anybody was there, I think I'm the one who brought Twisted live via satellite to my stage in Worcester from Los Angeles, California. So who the fuck knows what happens when you let the beast host loose at the Worcester Palladium. We gonna do big things. I'm hearing things about them Blaze GV dates. Make sure you be on the lookout for them. Mad shows going on. Path of Destruction still out there. If you in that Southwest or West Coast areas. And then I know Esham's out there grinding. I don't know how them shows are doing. But he out there doing it. I ain't hearing about no cancellations, which showing up is half the battle if you're fucking Esham. So for real, I say it all the time. Support this underground. Go out there, see these fucking shows. It don't matter who it is. Like, damn, like we just got Meth and Red announced for April. I'm fucking souped about that. Like, go to shows. There's more than ample reason to go to any of these fucking shows. You really got to be a hater to not want to drop $10 or $15 just to go out and kicks it for a night and do underground shit. Like, I like sitting in my room. I like sitting here. I like doing the show for y'all. It's comfortable. It's certainly easy to sit in my house and not do anything. I find myself falling into the trap of just doing that sometimes. But then something happens and I go to a show and I go, God damn. And we all do it. God damn, I need to go out more. I need to go to more of these shows. I need to live more underground. And that's what I'm suggesting everybody does. Go out there. Live underground. Go to shows. Hashtag right damn now. Straight up. Go to shows. Do rap shit. There you go. Not even, no, you know what, Cheese House? Yes. Yes to do rapper shit. Yes. I agree with that. I agree with the do rapper shit statement. However, I would like to increase that statement to do rap shit, do rock shit, do blues shit, do jazz shit, do shit. Like if you like Fleetwood Mac, fuck, I like Fleetwood Mac. If you like Fleetwood Mac and Fleetwood Mac's coming around, why wouldn't you want to go to Fleetwood Mac? So go to shows. Like, fuck, I'll go see the one-man band. It don't matter. Like, I like watching, like, street music. If you have, like, live street music where you live, some cities are lucky enough to have what are called buskers. Newport, Rhode Island just recently reinstituted, like, the busker licensing program. And it lets people play music on the street. If you're from a place like New York City or Los Angeles in some of the neighborhoods, South Florida, I know the shit's real popular, and you have the ability to just go down the street and go down to like the main part where people congregate and there's people playing music for free out there, go out there. Go out there and throw them $1. Oh, paying for parking sucks. Paying for parking does suck. So depending on where you have to go for shows, yeah, paying for parking does suck. June 1st, I know parking for Tech 9 is probably going to exceed $60. Now, my remedy to that is I'm driving the car to the train station, taking the train to the city, going to the show, staying the night in the city, and then coming back on the train the next day and getting the car. So, but that also costs money. So, depending on what your situation is, I get that shit. Uber's a good one, but surge pricing sucks. Surge pricing sucked the fun out of a lot of events. Because I know surge pricing went up to $90 at one point during Astronomicon. It's not enough Uber drivers. Mad people are relying on Uber at the moment. There's just not enough drivers. I ain't even gotten to my list yet. Tonight's just been mad flowy and freeform Tuesday. But like I said, I'm going to be keeping these to an hour regardless when I show up here. And that's just for my own sanity. And so I don't have to stretch myself too thin on days where shit might be light. But I do got a couple of things to talk about. And number one on the list, which will be the case until I hear something, Isaac Towery is still missing. I got hit up in the comments about last night's video that they appreciated me mentioning this. So I'm going to mention it again. And I'm going to mention it same way I did with Gutta. Every night until I hear something, somebody hits me up and says they found his ass one way or another, or somebody talked to him or something. So straight up, if you're from that Las Vegas area, you were there for Juggalo Day, Que Sera Sera, Isaac Towery, blue eyes, blonde hair, long, usually in a ponytail. I don't see a Juggalo rocking a man bun, and there's no pictures here indicating a man bun, which is another reason that we need to look out for this brother. All right? He was last seen wearing an ICP jacket, that one there. We've all seen that jacket before. It's got all the Joker's cards on it. All right? Standard fucking jeans and a white tank top underneath, and he was last seen February 9th in the location of Charleston and Lamb in Las Vegas, Nevada. 5'7", 130 pounds. You know anything? You seen dude? Maybe you and him smoked a blunt on Juggalo Day and he was fucking incognito. Like, message somebody. Or call the authorities. Straight up. That's what I'm trying to do around here. This ain't always just about what I want to talk about. Sometimes it's about, should I feel like I have to? Missing Juggalos is one of those fucking things. As long as it looks legitimate. We've talked about that shit. And this one certainly doesn't look like your standard, hey, yo, he dipped. Because then he didn't show up for Juggalo Day. Which you know damn well, if you were Juggalo and you from Vegas, you was at Juggalo Day. You was either at Juggalo Day or something bad happened or you were otherwise not able to go. Billy Sarducci got the fucking message. Go to shows, hashtag Right Damn Now. Right Damn Now is the hashtag. That's my next one. That's the new shit. I know I don't talk about 17%ers anymore because I feel like it's not worth it. I know I don't talk about some of the other stuff that we used to joke around about on here. But that's why we try to find new stuff to joke about and talk about. And Right Damn Now is one of those things. We can joke about it. We can be serious about it. It's like, it's all encompassing. It's like a circle. Let's see. Nothing going on in the chat. That was me looking at the chat. What to talk about next? Let's talk about dumb people. Let's talk about dumb people for a minute. Unfortunately, we live in a world that's technologically advanced. Even more so, we live in a world where humans as a species have advanced to a point where we no longer have any natural predators, really, except for ourselves. And that sometimes these things show themselves in nasty ass ways. There was a school shooting, another, down in South Florida, or Florida, last week. I think 17 or 18 dead. Shooter was an ex-student who at one point in time was called most likely to shoot up the school. The FBI was made aware of things he had said and things he was planning to do, and they didn't do anything, which opens up an entire fucking Pandora's box of shit, which I'll touch on towards the end, but I don't even want to get too deep into it because I'll get burned fucking alive for certain things, but we'll touch on it. But the main thing that's going on since is this super duper refreshed renewal of the anti-Second Amendment argument. You've got a lot of people out there right now in response to this shooting basically saying take away people's guns. Make guns unavailable to citizens at large, to the general public. You've got adults saying it, but more importantly, you actually have students as well saying it. And one of those students is this chick right here. Kind of looks like Tank Girl, I suppose. I don't want to talk any shit because even though, yes, she is 18, she is an adult, and I do not agree with things she said, which we're going to talk about. She is a student, presumably, of the school where this shooting happened. And I guess at this point, anybody in that school can be considered a survivor of said shooting. So she is a survivor of a school shooting, presumably, if you're to believe what's going on. We'll touch on all the dumb shit that possibly could be going on here as well later. But her name's Emma Gonzalez. And Miss Gonzalez, 18-year-old, whatever, senior, had an impassioned speech early this week where she basically called for the removal of all guns and that people of her generational age bracket need to do serious things in order to make sure that guns go away and that a school shooting like this can never happen again. Now, who's going to argue with an 18-year-old girl who just survived a school shooting? Nobody's going to argue with her. I'm going to argue with her a little fucking bit. She said some things about things that gun proponents say. And I'm not a gun proponent per se either. I don't believe everybody should have a gun. But I don't think guns need to go away either. She said things like, the big one was, we call BS. And she was calling BS on the idea that a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. And this is my big point of contention. Because that attitude is strictly youth speaking. That is lack of world experience speaking. That is never having gone anywhere but your town and being a high school senior up to your fucking neck in feminist, anti-bullying, anti-violent propaganda. Emma Gonzalez is the result of years of social programming. I don't know when it occurred, when it started, but at some point the decision was made somewhere to socially engineer out all of a human being's natural traits and instincts. And what you're seeing now is the fruition where they're trying to finally stomp out the few remaining remnants of any kind of animal that the human may have been at one time. Because in the animal kingdom, there are really only two fucking driving factors that matter. One, sex. Now, I get into my fucking Hollywood spiel, but a lot of these dudes are scumbags. But their behaviors, to some degree, can be attributed strictly to the fact that they're human and they're male. And the human male mating fucking behavior is a certain way. And due to social engineering, that's changing. It's not changing due to biology. You're still getting that adrenaline. You're still getting that testosterone that's making you aggressive when you want to mate. We see it in animals all the time. Go on fucking Animal Planet. You see it all the time. Mating season, motherfuckers get aggressive. You see it in house pets. So don't tell me that human beings don't have natural sexual things that happen because of biology. The other thing that humans have within us and have had since the beginning of time is violence. Violence against our prey, because yes, we hunt, we kill, we eat. Violence against others, other tribes, people who were different, people who wish to cause us harm, people that wish to take our stuff. Violence. was the response and is biologically ingrained in us. Now, as humans, we're not really keyed towards physical violence in the animal kingdom. I mean, you can talk about Mayweather being the baddest man on the planet or Conor McGregor being able to choke out anything with a fucking neck. But in reality, if you put either one of them up against like any kind of wild animal, I mean, pretty much regardless of size, the honey badger, put Conor in there with a honey badger, he gonna get his shit fucked up. When it comes to the animal, like, structure, the fucking food chain, we didn't end up where we are thanks to these fucking stubby, non-fucking sharp, like, brittle fucking hands, these feet. Like, we didn't get, like, we don't have teeth to fucking gnash and fight. We're not keyed biologically to fight. That's why you have to learn to throw a punch. It's not something natural. A tiger ain't got to learn how to swipe your fucking face off. It just knows how to do it. So at some point in the human evolution, part of our evolution became the development of weapons. Weapons and the brain power that is required to create weapons is what gave human beings the edge against animals that were biologically keyed to kill us. So here you go. You got a race, a fucking species of people, the humans, who, when they out there and they ain't got no pointy sticks or rocks or nothing, they getting their ass beat. You sending 12 dudes on a hunting mission, they coming back with 6 dudes and 2 fucking dead rabbits talking about, sorry, homie, the fucking bears got the other 6 dudes. And then somebody was like, yo, fuck that. Fuck that. Next time we go over to the bear neighborhood, we rolling strap, dog. Look at what I got. I got a pointy stick. And then they went over there and they pointy sticked the fuck out of them bears. And the bears either ran away or faced the death by pointy stick. And the humans got the edge. Not just in evolution, but in the food chain. Because at that point, we eliminated a lot of our natural predators, strictly by the fact that we had developed a way to fight back that wasn't ourselves. Now, this went on through time, and, it went from pointy sticks to, rocks and slingshots, and then bows and arrows, and then crossbows, trebuchets, catapults, okay? We learned that people were susceptible to germs. So back in the 14th century or whatever in France, it was normal for them to take a sick dead cow and catapult it over a castle wall, hoping that the viruses and bacteria that were in the gross dead cow would make the people inside the castle sick. Okay? Humans throughout history kept making easier and easier and easier ways for us to try to kill each other. This drive was not self-destructive. It was done to protect ourselves on an individual level, to protect ourselves on a group level up to a certain point, and for us to take care of one of the 2 natural biological drives that we had: violence. At some point, they found out that if you ground up certain rocks into a powder, the shit would explode. And with that explosion, you could do a bunch of stuff. One of them being putting rounds downrange. I don't know who it was. I don't remember if it was Smith & Wesson. I don't remember who it was that created that first gun. That first pipe with a controlled explosion discharge with a metal projectile. But once that first one happened, there was no going back. There is no going back. You cannot uninvent the gun. And because you cannot uninvent the gun, I mean, guns are here. I'd much rather have a gun than not have a gun if you might have a gun. And there's no circumstance now where anyone can ensure me that anyone doesn't have a gun. You can have as many laws as you fucking want. Okay? Because it's not just a matter of no longer producing guns. Because right now, I think there's enough guns in this country that if you could arm up each man, woman, and child with like 6 of them. So you can stop making guns right now. Stop making guns. There's enough guns. Trust me, there's plenty. The Army got boxes of those fuckers they're not even using. All right? So go ahead. Stop making guns. Make a law that says you can't have guns anymore. Well, not everybody's going to follow that law. The cops really don't know who's got what guns at this point. So how can you enforce something like that? I get lost in this pit of thought here. If we didn't have guns, the United States as it exists now would not exist. The British had guns. If we were to follow Miss Emma Gonzalez's logic here, the British have their guns. They're in charge. Let them have guns. We shouldn't have guns. Well, then we'd still be under British rule. Guns and the use of physical violence have solved 90% of the world's issues up to this point. And I mean throughout all of human history. I don't mean since fucking 1999 when you were born into MySpace culture. Nick Winter knows what's up. People are printing 3D guns at home. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's a technological answer. I don't need a technological answer. I have a knowledge of ballistics and projectiles. With a knowledge of basic ballistics and projectiles, which you can find on Google, you can go in your bathroom and you can pull pieces off your sink drain and make a little chamber, and you get a projectile. You make a fucking projectile. Or if you don't have a projectile, you can just shove nails in that motherfucker. And you fill the gap with butane. And you hit it with a fucking lighter. And I'll put fucking 400 nails through you. That's a gun. So we already have the knowledge. Humans evolved to guns. At this point, guns are a part of our evolution. Because it is the way we have maintained our status where it has been at the top of Earth's food chain for as long as we have. I mean, I know none of my viewers live in a place where you are at risk of being eaten by a large animal. I don't know. I know I got some viewers in Australia, and I know you people got some fucked up shit down there, and you might get eaten by a spider and not know it. But in, like, I know around and where I live, I know I can walk to the store without a gun and not be eaten by an animal. Now, I might get mugged, but that's another reason to have guns. So we have to have guns. We have to. Strictly for that reason. I mean, at that reason, I should be able to wash my hands of this argument. But I got other reasons. All right? Y'all want to bitch about the guns and the violence and why do I need this gun versus that gun? That doesn't fucking matter. What matters is that there is an equal presence of guns on the side of both the governed and the governors. So understand the Second Amendment is not put there so I can have a gun and I can go hunting or I can shoot. That fucking Second Amendment is there to ensure that what happened with Britain didn't happen with this government. By giving the citizenry, the body politic, the ability to arm themselves to match any fucking threat that came, whether it was from our own or from someone else. The sheer fact our militaries have guns means that we should all have guns. And that, to me, that's worldwide. There's a bunch of places you can't get guns. Australia, the Olympic shooting team in Australia has to like go to Thailand to train because they cannot even have like competitive shooting weapons in Australia. But Australia is a unique situation, and there are people who have guns. Don't get me wrong, and that's what I mean. Australia basically banned all guns. But if you go in the outback, ain't nobody taking nobody's guns because those guys got to deal with fucking giant gators and fucking wallabies and fucking dingoes eating their babies and shit. I get it. I get it, Emma. I get it. You're fucking sad. A couple of your friends got smoked. I get it. It sucks. Welcome to adulthood. It really sucks. But you cannot change over 2,000 years of human evolution. You cannot change what was decided upon when the shit was created because you're sad. You can't do it. Now, should changes happen? Probably. And I really don't have a problem with certain things. Registration, however, I do have a problem with. Because by letting what could turn into a potential enemy, the government, know about where all the guns are and who's got what guns and how many rounds of ammunition everybody's got and all that shit, that's intelligence in a case where the government may try to whatever. I don't have a problem with saying not everybody can get guns. So, me personally, I'm a felon in the state of Rhode Island. Due to my felony conviction, I am unable to own a gun and get a gun license at this time in most states. I think there might be some there might be some flexibility there depending on where you go. But for the most part, federally, I can't own a gun. It wasn't a crime of violence, and it wasn't domestic, and it wasn't drug related. So I could petition to get my shit, I think. And then I know I could get that expunged. I know the time's gone by. If I really wanted to go out and buy a legal gun, I could get my shit expunged. It would cost a little bit. But then I'd go get a gun. I like the idea of me having a gun because I had a gun for 10 fucking years. Pretty much all the time. It's what happens when you join the military and you learn about this piece of our evolution that somehow throughout the years got washed out. Now you can go back as early as, say, World War II, and at that time, most households still had guns. Before that, almost all households did. And if you go back to a time like the Wild West and the invention of the 6-shooter and the interchangeable parts between certain guns, everyone had a gun. Man, woman, and child. Now, I'm not even against kids having guns. If you look at any of the scenes from Africa, you can teach a 3-year-old how to properly handle and execute firing AK-47 rounds downrange. It's not hard. It's part of our evolution. And depending on your environment, it's a necessary part. I bring up the child soldiers, and that shit sucks too. Being a child soldier sucks. Emma, losing 17 of your friends, that shit sucks. But I would fucking hate to be 7 years old in Sierra Leone and both of my parents died of AIDS. And I don't know if I have AIDS or not. But what I do know is that I'd call some dude named Coney, whatever the African word for daddy is. I'm carrying around an AK-47 hunting for blood diamonds, and I'm never ever gonna see Black Panther. So I'm sorry that human evolution led us to a place where a human was able to take lives. But I don't know if it's something we need to be sorry for. You can't take the guns away. You shouldn't take the guns away. What you should do is you should ensure that anybody who is going to handle a firearm, whether they are man, woman, or child, is properly trained. I went through proper training several times. I think it's like a car. I think you should have to go see an independent body, and they should be able to make the determination on whether or not you can properly handle a firearm. The same way someone determines whether or not you can properly handle a car. I think that there needs to be a minimum number of hours every so often where you learn all sorts of shit. And one of those things people need to learn is you can kill somebody with this shit. It's not a toy. I think people need to be required that if you have one, you carry it. I think you should have to carry it in the open. There's certain places in New Hampshire that have open carry. That it's stupid where you walking around and people just have shotguns and rifles and shit like on their person. Now you tell me, Emma, homeboy walks into your school with a gun, and instead of seeing an unarmed gym teacher with a fucking dodgeball and a bunch of potential fucking targets lined up, the first thing he sees is the science teacher, and the science teacher clearly has a 45 on his fucking hip. And the secretary behind the counter has been trained to use the shotgun that's up underneath the counter. What do you think would have happened then? Do you really think you would have gotten 17? Or do you think your fucking school would have scored a big one for themselves? The answer to guns isn't to take guns away. The answer to guns isn't more guns. The answer to guns is information. It's training of people on how to counter that threat. And the only way to counter a bad person with a gun is a good person. Hopefully with a bigger gun. You can't take away what we made. It sucks. We opened up Pandora's box with that shit. Same way they did with nuclear weapons. And we see what happens worldwide when the United States, who has nuclear weapons, tries to bestow upon other countries, you can't have them. Well, why not? Y'all got them. We need them so we can make sure you don't shoot yours at ours. And that's the answer. We need something to ensure that nobody's going to shoot at us. And guess what that is? It's a gun in the hands of a properly trained, properly mentally motivated individual. And that's part of the training, is you can tell after a couple of days if a motherfucker's cuckoo to a point where you don't think he should have a gun. And you can even ask for a second opinion on that shit. But we know dudes that shouldn't have guns. Shit, I knew dudes in the Navy that shouldn't have guns. And even though we were mandated to put them through training, we never put them in a position where they were left alone with a firearm. Because bad fucking things can happen. Now, this is what I'm seeing in all this online, and it's a little bit of the crazy shit that I was talking about. People are saying this girl's not even a student. They're saying she's a crisis actor. And if anybody saw her passionate fucking speech, that shit was fucking rehearsed to a T. She knew exactly what she was doing up there. So I'm not going to say she's a crisis actor, but that's out there. She might be. This all might be a ruse to try to get the younger people to push along this anti-gun legislation stuff. The president's already moved, and I have no problem with this, to make certain aftermarket attachments illegal. So things like bump stocks, certain capacity clips and shit. I have no problem with that. Because with proper training and like in the hands of the right people, you don't need all that fancy shit. Like, that's my deal. Like, to me, that's like steroids. Like, if you have a semi is fine. Most semis are trigger pull semis. So you're not even having to do a count. So something like a bump stock don't even make no sense to me. Like, let the shit be a semi. You don't need to make it a fucking fully automatic. Like, don't be ridiculous. Like, that shit just gets out of hand for most people anyway. Don't be stupid. Like, we put 2 to 3 rounds down range at a time with brakes. You know what I mean? Anybody who's been in a live fire situation knows fully automatic's kind of stupid. You can just, we don't shoot more than 3 rounds at a time. Anybody with skill, you try to put 2 center of mass. If you have multiple targets, you do 2 or 3 shots per target, and then you move targets. So it's like pop, pop, pop. Pop, pop, pop. Even on a big weapon, this obviously is not your standard handgun bullet. This here's a 50 caliber, what they call the Moi Deuce, the M1A something. Moi Deuce 50 caliber, which is considered a crew-served weapon because you're supposed to have 2 guys. You have one guy working the gun, and you have one guy working like headphones and feeding the fucker ammunition. Even that gun, which is designed as a war gun, it's designed to be fully automatic. We only put 3 to 5 rounds downrange at a time of these. Any more than that, it doesn't make sense because you're just wasting ammunition. If you get tagged with 2 or 3 of these, sorry. I'm real sorry. We'll send a note. We'll send a note to your fucking family. But these fuckers, we weren't even allowed to shoot technically at people. These were for like vehicles. And unfortunately, some people would get tagged by these in the process of being inside of one of these vehicles that they were shooting at. And this fucking thing blows like a barn door through you. Like a pancake. I smile because I like guns. Because I know what guns can do. And on a biological level, knowing what guns can do pleases me. Because I know if I have one, that I have a good chance of surviving, of being at the top of the food chain. And that's the other thing, Emma. I hope the shit don't go down. I hope that the younger generation never has to be put in a position where they are going around wondering about guns. Because if you people are ever put in a position where you have to defend yourselves against a greater threat than what exists today, y'all are fucked. Y'all are fucked. So, yo, if you a young person and you watch my show, share, like, spread it amongst some young people. Don't let, we all should get along, blind you to the fact that people fucking have guns. And the people who have probably the most guns aren't the best people. And they're people that would gladly kill you and your whole family to ensure their position in the food chain. It's on you as an individual to ensure yours. I have other ways. I feel like if the shit goes down, I'm not going to really need a weapon right away. I can definitely get to some. And at that point, legalities and licenses won't matter. That's what you have to think about. What if we wake up tomorrow and the dollar crashes? You're going to be reaching for them guns by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Because there ain't going to be no milk. There ain't going to be no bread. There ain't going to be no gas. Hope it don't happen. Prepare for it if it does. And that ain't some crazy end of the world prepper shit. That's just me being me. And anybody from a rural area knows how ridiculous it is. The more guns there are, the less chance of there being mishaps. I have to be honest. I mean mishaps in terms of shit like this. When I went to high school in Maine, and we're talking about 93, 94, 95, there were pickup trucks in the back that, like at school, students' trucks that had guns in them, like clearly visible. Clearly visible. Gun racks in the back of their pickups with 3 loaded shotguns. Because that's what people do in Maine. And the reason they do it is because of animals. And to ensure their place at the top of the food chain. I remember a kid, we were sitting in class. And we're all like, oh, check it out, man. There's a moose out there. like in the grass of the soccer field. It was like wintertime. And this kid in my class got up, said, "Can I be excused?" And the teacher's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And we all thought he was going to the bathroom. And we see this dude sprinting across the parking lot to his truck. And we see him pull a fucking rifle, get on his hood, and he put one in this fucking thing. And it got about 30 yards and fell over. And then him and a couple fucking teachers helped pull it to his truck. And they called animal control and said he got one. It was on school property. Like, crazy shit. Anybody who lives in rural areas knows what I'm talking about, man. Like, I'm not even talking about just handguns. Like, damn, all sorts of guns. Guns are guns. They all do the same thing. Point, click, dead. But that's the other thing, too. Don't think a gun makes you a tough guy, either. Understand that's not what that's for. If you're a type that wants to use a gun to oppress another person or to take something from another person, then you don't need to have one. And that's where the problem lies. Because the problem people don't outnumber the good people. We can't fucking forget that shit. So yeah, there's my stump speech. I just did like 45 minutes on something I was thought was gonna take 10 minutes. Sorry about that, fam. Sorry about that, fam-a-lams. But I think I made my point. For real. Like, if you're from a rural area and you know what the fuck I'm talking about with the flame emojis, put them in there. If you know what I'm talking about with these guns in rural areas. Mississippi, too. Everybody had guns in Mississippi. Like, routinely, I'd be in the bar. And there'd be dudes with just, you know, you have a sidearm. But that when I was in the military and we were places, that just became second nature. I used to walk around with a 9mm all the time. All the time. Sometimes the shotgun. Sometimes I'd be standing at a 50 caliber machine gun. Sometimes I would be, there's pictures of me on my Facebook carrying the M60, which is like one of my favorite guns. Shit, the M79 grenade launcher. We used to go eat lunch. You want to fuck some people up? M79 grenade launcher, you have to load one grenade at a time. It's like that. It's that thunk fucking thing with like, it's got like goalposts for fucking sights on it. It's a pain in the ass. But you'd have it and you'd have a chest, like a chest holder of grenades. These ones that you had to put in there. Now, they're inertial fused grenades. So when they go through the air, this spin is what sets that fuse. So it'll explode. They're pretty well dead when they're in the fucking vest. Fuck around. I used to wear the vest to lunch. And just be like, "Hey, fellas." And then you just sit down next to a group of people with a chest of live grenades. But, you know what I mean? When you become comfortable, it no longer becomes an issue. When you learn the limitations of weapons, when you learn what they're capable of, and you learn the safe operation, maintenance, and respect for those weapons, they can be real handy. And they've been real handy for the human race and Americans in particular for a long fucking time. Here's a list of people I'm pretty sure wished had guns. The Indians, when the Pilgrims got here, bet you they wish they had guns. The Mayans, when Cortez and those fucking guys took over South America, I bet you they wish they had guns. Poland in 1945, months before Germany invaded, all the Polish people voluntarily gave up their guns. And that allowed Hitler to march into their fucking country pretty much unimpeded like 60 days later. Plenty of fucking problems have been solved by the business end of a gun. And it's going to continue. Who do you want to make the decisions? Everybody or just a few that whoever decides are allowed to have guns? I'd rather have everybody make them decisions. Everybody for the most part. Well, damn. I did my whole show on that. I had other shit to talk about, but that, like I said, we hit that hour. I'm sorry We got to talk about the Station nightclub fire. We'll do that tomorrow. And we'll talk about haunted highons. Because I fucked that up too. Two things in closing. One, if you are a fan of mine and you know anything about Team Backpack, there's something going on with Team Backpack and something called World Underground. And I'm looking for information. So if anybody out there knows anybody who might be down with Team Backpack, may have auditioned for them recently, hit me up. Hit me up in the comments, hit me up in the email, hit me up on one of the social medias. Something's going on. And before I really do a video about it, I wanna get my shit straight. Like, I want to make sure I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Second thing, I rewatched yesterday's episode, parts of it, just to see how many snippets were in there. And it looks like there's like 3. So I'm getting back on the uploading of stuff to my regular YouTube page. So make sure you go over there and make sure you fucking sub, because shit'll be going up there. And make sure you're sharing that shit too. That's the smaller shit. That's the shorter stuff that'll draw people in for us to party with. I know I got a bunch of heads still tuned in. But the point I'm getting to is I saw somebody say something in the chat, and I didn't see it when it happened, and then I immediately went to something else on the screen. So then I didn't see it because it went by. Because I typically only look at the chat as it exists on this screen. I don't look at the one that's on my other, because I'd be like, hey, what's going on, everybody? What up, heads? I'm not looking at you. I'm giving you fucking Forrest Whitaker eye. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to look here. Some kid named Nightmare Juggalo 313 over on YouTube, on this YouTube shit, asked, because of my hat that I was wearing, this same fucking hat, all right, this motherfucking guy said something, it was just a hater comment, obviously, about, what do you know about Shaolin Chuck the fuck? Which, super original, fam. Let me tell you how original that shit is. But nonetheless, so dude's like, hey, fucking let me make a shit comment about your hat. Like, with a name like Nightmare Juggalo 313, I have any kind of knowledge at all of hip-hop music. And I'm not just some fucking trash bag ass, no life, don't go to no shows unless it's a fucking face painter ass motherfucker. Alright? Make all the comments you want about Chuck not knowing what Shaolin is, and I'll go ahead and direct you to this here. Method Man, Ghostface Killer, RZA, Pearl Harbor featuring Sean Price from late last year. Currently standing at 1.168 million views. This is the latest Wu-Tang video. Okay? Shaolin, Wu-Tang. See the connection? What's this got to do with anything? Well, if you fast forward a little bit to about a minute 5, while my homie Sean P's on here. Oh, look. Is that me? Hold on. Wait 1 second. Hold on. Oh, look. Oh, look. So, you gonna say to me, what do I know about Shaolin? When literally, there's me. There's my fucking face on the motherfucking Wu video that's got 1.16 million fucking views. So understand me. Listen to me and understand. Comprehend right damn now that no juggalo ass, no fucking life having, no musical knowledge ass bitch motherfucker is ever gonna question what the fuck I know about Shaolin. Motherfucker can't even get VIP tickets to the fucking ICP show without paying. I'm in the Woo video. I'm in the Woo video. I haven't, like, really haven't made a big deal of this. My phone blew up when it happened. I didn't even know. The footage that they used is from an existing Sean Price video. Because unfortunately, as we all know, Sean Price is passed. So any videos that occur from here on out are just going to be stock footage of him. And this is some of the footage. I just happen to be in it. There's my angry face. I'm a good actor. I'm a good video hoe. So, I mean, say what you want, dog. But maybe you check before you try to talk shit about something as cool as my Shaolin hat. I love this hat. I got this hat at FYE with a copy of Jizza Liquid Swords, which I'm sure you know tons about, fam. I'm sure you know tons about the Jizza, or the RZA, or the Old Dirty Bastard Inspector Deck, Raekwon, fucking Ghostface Killer, or the METHO shit. Like, I have pictures of me with Redman. Like, I don't know, like, what do I know about Shaolin? Check yourself before you wreck yourself, because big beards in your mouth is bad for your health. And on that note, heads, until next time, potentially tomorrow, potentially Thursday, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, specifically right here on the Replicon YouTube channel, fucking live from the slums of Shaolin. My name is Chuck Reeves. I'm the East Coast motherfucking beast host. We put W's up around here. And until tomorrow, the beard has spoken.